All it takes one time, that one mishap. This can happen to you. Hey everyone, this is Gus One Bear. I want to share a particular situation that I was very fortunate enough to capture on film. I want to show you step by step, play by play, on what not to do when being approached by an aggressive dog. Stay tuned. In this video, you're going to see myself avoiding a dog attack with no tools, no weapons. I'm also going to give you my 4 personal tips on what not to do when you're being chased or approached by an aggressive dog. I would like to start this off with my 4 personal tips. And that way you have a little bit of understanding as to how and why I reacted the way I did in the video. Now, if you search for this particular topic, there's lots of information on what to do and how to handle a dog attack. Now, people say if you're being attacked by a dog, give it a good knee to the chest, give them your forearm, let them bite into your forearm, beat them with a stick, coil up into a ball, and protect your vital areas. I want to say that these tips can help, but remember folks, every encounter and every situation is different. So what makes the tip that I'm going to give you more acceptable to survive an attack with minimum to no injury at all? Alright, that's my dog Bear. The first tip I want to give you, and this is kind of easy to do, it's just you need to get into that mindset, into that routine, and that is be vigilant. Being vigilant of your surrounding and being ahead of the game is going to help you to avoid a lot of problems. Take that extra time to just scope out the neighborhood, look around the corner, look at the yard, look around you, make sure there's no loose dogs. The number one key thing to safety is be vigilant. Tip number 2, show no fear. If you are approached by an aggressive dog, never show fear. People will say, act submissive. Don't stare or look at the dog right in the eyes. Because if you do, you're telling the dog that you're challenging it or you're showing dominance over that dog. And folks, that is true. Dogs respond to body language. But these techniques, my opinion, works better on a dog that's probably timid or scared. For instance, if you are approaching a dog, not the dog approaching you, you're approaching the dog and you're entering into his comfort space. Or if you have a friend or family member that has a dog that has trust issues or they're a little worried about strangers, and then I can see that technique working very well. And basically what you're just showing the dog is like, hey, I'm submitting, you're the top dog here. I'm posing no threat. That technique will work. But if a dog has targeted you and all of a sudden that dog is running at you, that submissive technique is not going to work. When a dog charges at you and you stand still and you're holding your own ground, that dog is going to pause. That dog is reading you like a book and he's waiting for your reaction. So am I going to look at that dog straight in the eyes? You bet I am. I want that dog to know that he's messing with the wrong dude. So 2 things are going to happen if you stare the dog right in the eyes. First, the dog is going to think twice and not come at you. Or 2, they will charge, but most likely they're going to be very careful and very wary as to how they're going to approach you. And if you ask me, this will give you the upper hand advantage. If you stand your ground and not show any fear, it's going to alter that dog's original thought or behavior. Tip number 3, do not run, do not turn your back on the dog. Folks, never run away from a dog. Never. No matter how scary, how ferocious this dog looks, do not turn your back to that animal. By running away, this will encourage the dog to come at you, and he's going to come at you at his full ferocity. It's that predator and prey mindset that all animals have. You run, you become prey. You always want to be in front of the dog. Never turn your back or let the dog get around you. If a dog is able to bite you from behind, most likely he's going to throw you off balance or he's going to trip you. Once you're on the ground, you're at the mercy of that animal. Avoid falling at all costs. And tip number 4, Be prepared to take a bite and be willing to fight. If I stay in front of that animal and that dog grabs a hold of me, guess what? I have these, I have my hands. I'm gonna grab a hold of it, okay? And just, it's a fight. Listen, the danger's there, the inch is gonna happen. You're gonna take a bite. You don't wanna be at his mercy. You wanna fight. All right, let's talk about the encounter. I get out of the truck, walk into the yard, I turn around, and at a distance, I see a pit bull charging at me. So I stood still, and he just stopped dead on his tracks, within maybe 10 to 12 feet away from me. As you can see in this picture, he's looking straight at my eyes. And the moment that our eyes locked, and I realized I had a GoPro on me, and I turned on the GoPro, it was game on. All right, so this was right after he ran at me. When he came within a few feet, he stopped. I did not run from him, and I stood my ground. The moment that our eyes locked, he came in for the attack. In this clip, I'm standing my ground. And remember what I said. Most likely when you're holding your ground and you're not showing any fear, even though the dog is coming in for the attack, he's being very cautious on how he's going to approach you. And here's a perfect example. On the first initial attack, he's already trying to find a way to get around me. When a dog is uncertain on what they are approaching, or they're attacking something that could be a potential threat to them, this is done to avoid entering into combat and getting injured. This is a good indication that the dog is being very cautious on his attack. As you can see, I'm facing the threat straight on, and my eyes are locked into him. Now he lunges at me. Every move I make as he calculates his approach, he's observing my response and reaction in hopes to discourage me into giving up, turn tail, and run. When he lunged at me, you can see he was able to close in on distance. I knew if this continued, sooner or later, he was going to end up biting me. Without missing a beat, I threw my hat at him, and that was enough to discourage a dog and take him out of the fight. And this is when I knew it was game over for him. Observe the body language. Look at his eyes. He's not looking at me. He's actually submitting to me. I know I was very lucky in this particular situation. And I'm not saying that a hat's going to save your life, but it did save mine. That whole scenario could have gone really bad. The fact that I walked out of it without even a scratch, I have to thank the good Lord above. And again, I'm not claiming to be an expert on dog behavior, but I have been working with critters all my life. So this is Gus One Bear. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, like and subscribe. And folks, till the next time.